Most people believe success is random. They think it depends on luck, on being in the right place at the right time, on having the right connections, or on being born into wealth. They see successful people and assume something magical happened to them, something that could never happen to an ordinary person. They look at those who have achieved greatness and think there must be some secret ingredient, some hidden advantage, some mysterious quality that separates the winners from everyone else. But Earl Nightingale discovered something completely different. He found that success is not random at all. There is a law operating in the human mind, a law as reliable and predictable as the law of gravity. And if you understand this law and learn to work with it, success stops being a mystery. It becomes inevitable. This law has been hidden in plain sight for centuries. It operates silently, constantly, whether you are aware of it or not. It is shaping your life right now at this very moment, creating the circumstances you will experience tomorrow, next month, and next year. It does not care whether you believe in it. It does not require your permission. It simply works. The way gravity works, the way the laws of physics work. The question is not whether this law is working. The question is whether you are directing it or whether it is directing you. Are you the master of your mind, or is your mind the master of you? Today we are going to uncover this hidden law. We are going to understand how it works, why most people never discover it, and most importantly, how you can use it to guarantee your own success. Because once you see this law clearly, once you understand its mechanics, your entire relationship with your future will change. You will stop hoping for success and start creating it. You will stop waiting for circumstances to improve and start improving the circumstances. You will realize that you have always had the power. You just never knew how to use it. Earl Nightingale spent decades studying successful people. He interviewed them, observed them, analyzed their habits and their thinking patterns. He wanted to know what made them different, what separated those who achieved extraordinary results from those who struggled their entire lives. And he noticed something extraordinary. Every single person who achieved lasting success, regardless of their background or education, was using the same invisible law. They did not always know they were using it. Many of them could not explain it. Some attributed their success to hard work, others to opportunity, still others to intuition or instinct. But beneath all these surface explanations, Nightingale saw the same pattern repeating. They were all living in harmony with this law, and that harmony was producing results that seemed miraculous to everyone else. Nightingale realized that this law was not exclusive to the talented or the privileged. It was available to everyone. It was built into the structure of the human mind itself. It was not something you had to earn or deserve. It was simply there, waiting to be understood and used. The only difference between successful people and unsuccessful people was that successful people had learned, consciously or unconsciously, to direct this law in their favor. They had learned to think in a way that produced success, while others were thinking in a way that produced failure. Same law, same mechanism, different direction, different results. So what is this law? Nightingale expressed it simply. He said our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations. In other words, life reflects what you think, not occasionally, not when you feel inspired, but continuously, relentlessly, without exception. Your external world is a perfect reflection of your internal world. If you want to know what someone has been thinking about for the past 5 years, just look at their life, their circumstances, their relationships, their financial situation, their level of health, their emotional state. All of it is the visible expression of their invisible thoughts. This idea seems strange at first. Most people believe the opposite. They think their circumstances create their thoughts. They think they feel frustrated because life is difficult, or they feel worried because money is scarce, or they feel pessimistic because nothing ever works out. They see themselves as victims of external forces, reacting to a world that is beyond their control. But Nightingale discovered that the relationship works in reverse. Your thoughts create your circumstances. Your mind is not reacting to reality. Your mind is creating reality. What you see on the outside is the materialization of what has been happening on the inside. Let me show you how this works. Imagine someone who constantly thinks, I cannot do this. Nothing ever works for me. Life is against me. I am not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. I always fail. I never get a break. Other people succeed, but success is not for me. These thoughts feel like observations. They feel like honest assessments of reality. The person believes they are simply being realistic, simply acknowledging the truth of their situation. But they are not observations. They are commands. Every time this person repeats these thoughts, they are programming their subconscious mind to prove them true. The subconscious does not argue. It does not question. It does not evaluate whether the command is helpful or harmful. It simply accepts whatever is repeated to it as fact, and then it goes to work making that fact visible in the external world. So what happens? The person begins to notice evidence that confirms their beliefs. They see problems everywhere. Opportunities pass by unnoticed because their mind is not scanning for opportunities. It is scanning for proof that life is difficult. Their perception becomes selective. They remember every failure and forget every success. They focus on every setback and overlook every advantage. Their behavior changes subtly. They hesitate more. They give up faster. They avoid risks. They do not apply for the better job because they assume they will not get it. They do not start the business because they believe it will fail. They do not pursue the relationship because they expect rejection. And over time, their external circumstances begin to match their internal expectations perfectly. They look at their life and say, "See, I was right. Nothing works for me." But they were not right. They were simply obedient to the law. Now imagine a different person. This person thinks, "I expect success. I am moving upward. Everything is working in my favor. I am capable, resourceful, and intelligent. Opportunities are everywhere. I learn from every experience. I grow stronger every day. Challenges make me better. Success is my natural state." These thoughts also feel like observations, but again, they are commands. The subconscious accepts them as truth and begins organizing reality to match them. This person starts noticing opportunities that were always there but were previously invisible. Their perception shifts. They see possibilities where others see obstacles. They find solutions where others find excuses. Their behavior shifts. They take more action. They persist longer. They speak with more confidence. They ask for what they want. They take intelligent risks. And over time, their external world transforms to reflect their internal beliefs. To an outside observer, it looks like the second person got lucky. It looks like they were born with some special advantage. It looks like they were in the right place at the right time. But the truth is, both people were using the exact same law. The law does not favor anyone. It does not care about your background, your education, your age, your circumstances. It simply responds to the dominant thoughts you feed it. One person programmed failure. The other programmed success. The law delivered both results with equal precision, equal reliability, equal inevitability. This is the hidden law Earl Nightingale wanted everyone to understand. Your dominant thoughts create your dominant results. Not quickly, not visibly, but inevitably. The results may take weeks, months, or years to appear, but they are always on their way. Your thoughts today are building your circumstances tomorrow. You cannot think one way and live another. It is impossible. The mind makes real what it believes. This is not philosophy. This is not motivation. This is mechanics. This is how the mind works. The difficulty with this law is that it operates in secret. Thoughts are invisible. Results appear slowly. Life changes quietly, almost imperceptibly. You do not see the connection between what you think today and what you experience next year. The gap between cause and effect is too wide. The process is too gradual. So most people never realize they are creating their own limitations. They blame circumstances, other people, the economy, their education, their background. They look everywhere for the cause of their problems except the one place where the cause actually exists, inside their own minds. Here is the pattern. First, you think a thought repeatedly. Let us say the thought is, "I want to build wealth." At first, nothing happens. The thought seems powerless. You say the words, but your bank account does not change. Your situation looks the same. So most people give up. They conclude that thinking does not work, that positive thinking is naive, that the mind has no power over circumstances. But if you continue thinking it, something begins to shift. The subconscious mind starts to accept it as truth. It cannot reject repetition. Repetition is the programming mechanism. If you tell the subconscious something once, it ignores it. If you tell it 1,000 times, it believes it. Once the subconscious accepts the thought, it begins scanning your environment for evidence that supports it. You become more alert. You notice opportunities you would have missed before. You read an article that gives you an idea. You meet someone who mentions a business strategy. You overhear a conversation that sparks a realization. Information that was always available suddenly becomes visible. Your behavior begins to change. You take different actions than someone who is not thinking about building wealth. You save more. You spend differently. You invest differently. You ask better questions. You pursue different opportunities. You have conversations you would not have had before. You take risks you would have avoided before. And slowly, results begin to appear. Not overnight, not dramatically, but consistently. A small opportunity leads to a larger one. One connection leads to another. One success builds momentum for the next. To the outside world, it looks like you got lucky, but the change began long before anyone could see it. It began in silence, inside your own mind, with a single thought repeated until it became a belief. Earl Nightingale compared the mind to a powerful magnet. It attracts the conditions it expects. This is why complainers attract more problems. Their minds are magnetized to notice and attract difficulty. Every conversation reinforces their belief that life is hard. Every news story confirms their pessimism. Every setback feels like proof that the world is against them. And the more they complain, the more reasons they find to complain. This is why fearful people find endless reasons to stay afraid. Their minds are tuned to the frequency of danger. They see threats everywhere. They imagine worst-case scenarios constantly. And their fear creates the very situations they were afraid of. And this is why positive, driven people discover openings that others miss. Their minds are magnetized to possibility. They expect good things, so they notice good things. They believe in solutions, so they find solutions. The mind does not judge. It does not care whether your thoughts are helpful or harmful, constructive or destructive, true or false. It simply obeys the dominant command you give it. Tell your mind, I am not capable, and it will close doors. It will filter out opportunities. It will interpret every challenge as proof of your inadequacy. It will cause you to hesitate, to second guess, to withdraw. Tell your mind, I can succeed, and doors will begin to open. Not because the universe is rewarding you, not because you are special, but because your mind is now directing your attention, your energy, and your behavior toward success instead of away from it. The opportunities were always there. The possibilities were always available. But now you can see them. Now you can act on them. The law works whether you believe in it or not. It is working right now. The only question is whether you are using it consciously or unconsciously. Here is the critical insight Nightingale emphasized. The law works both ways. It works for success and it works for failure with equal power. People are not punished for their thoughts. They are punished by them. People are not rewarded for their beliefs. They are rewarded through them. The same law that makes one person wealthy holds another person in poverty. The same law that makes one person confident keeps another person paralyzed by fear. The same law that creates health in one life creates illness in another. The law is neutral. It does not take sides. It does not favor the good or punish the bad. It simply responds. The direction comes entirely from you. This means that if you want to change your destiny, you must start by asking a simple question. What am I feeding my mind every day? Because your mind is constantly being shaped by everything you allow into it. The books you read, the videos you watch, the music you listen to, the people you spend time with, the conversations you participate in, the news you consume, the beliefs you rehearse, the thoughts you permit. All of this is programming your subconscious, and your subconscious is programming your future. You are building your tomorrow with the thoughts you think today. Your results cannot be different if your thinking stays the same. Your financial reality is simply your inner world made visible over time. This is why most people never change. They want different results, but they keep feeding their minds the same thoughts. They want wealth, but they think about scarcity. They want confidence, but they rehearse self-doubt. They want success, but they focus on failure. They want health, but they worry about disease. They want happiness, but they complain constantly. And then they wonder why nothing improves. The law is working perfectly. It is giving them exactly what they are asking for with their dominant thoughts. They are succeeding at creating what they think about. The problem is they are thinking about the wrong things. Now here is something fascinating. Schools never teach this. They teach mathematics, history, science, language, all useful subjects. These subjects have value. They develop important skills. But they almost never teach how your mind creates results. They do not teach how thoughts control behavior. They do not teach how belief shapes action. They do not teach how the subconscious obeys repetition. They do not teach the relationship between thinking and destiny. Earl Nightingale believed that this missing education was the root of most failure in society. Because if you never understand that the mind is the cause and life is the effect, then you spend your entire life trying to change effects directly without changing their source. You try to force results without changing the thinking that creates results, and that approach never works. It is like trying to change your reflection in a mirror without changing yourself. You can rearrange the mirror, clean the mirror, even break the mirror, but the reflection will not change until you change. Nightingale observed that humanity is divided into two groups. The first group consists of people who direct their minds. They choose their thoughts. They set clear goals. They guard their focus. They think intentionally. They treat their minds as gardens that must be cultivated, not wastelands where anything can grow. These are the leaders, the entrepreneurs, the creators, the builders. They understand that life is not happening to them. Life is happening from them. Their thoughts are the blueprint, and their future is the construction. They take full responsibility for their thinking because they know their thinking determines everything else. The second group consists of people whose minds direct them. They react. They follow. They think automatically. They live from habit. They let their minds run on default programming, never questioning the thoughts that flow through them. These are the people who blame circumstances, doubt their own power, and never understand the law that is guiding their lives. They are not less intelligent. They are not less capable. They are not less deserving. They simply never learn to take control of their own thinking. They let their minds run on autopilot, and autopilot always takes you where you have already been. It never takes you somewhere new. Same world, same opportunities, same law, but completely different results because one group is directing the law and the other group is being directed by it. The difference is not in the external world. The difference is entirely internal. It is a difference in awareness, in discipline, in understanding. And that difference creates everything. One person sees themselves as a victim. The other sees themselves as a creator. One person reacts to life. The other designs life. One person drifts. The other navigates. And over the course of years, the distance between these two approaches becomes enormous. So how do you install this law in your favor? Earl Nightingale gave 3 powerful daily practices. The first practice is to feed your mind with clarity. Write down your major goal. Know exactly what you want. Be specific. Be precise. Do not say, I want to be successful. Define what success means to you. Do not say, I want more money. State the exact amount. Do not say, I want a better life. Describe the life in detail. A vague mind creates vague results. If you do not know where you are going, your subconscious cannot take you there. Clarity is the starting point of all achievement. Without it, the law has nothing to work with. Your subconscious needs a clear target. Give it one. The second practice is to repeat your goal morning and night. Repetition is the programming mechanism of the subconscious. The more you repeat the goal, the faster the mind accepts it as reality. Read your goal when you wake up. Read it before you sleep. Say it out loud. Write it down. Visualize it. Feel it. This is not wishful thinking. This is not fantasy. This is the process by which beliefs are installed. You are not hoping your goal will come true. You are instructing your subconscious to make it true. And the subconscious, when given a clear, repeated command, will obey. It has no choice. Obedience is its nature. The third practice is to think from the goal, not toward it. This is the mental switch that separates winners from dreamers. Most people think toward their goal. They say, I want to be successful. I hope to be wealthy. I wish I could achieve this. That kind of thinking keeps the goal in the future, always out of reach. It reinforces the identity of someone who does not yet have what they want. Instead, ask yourself, What would a person who already achieved this goal think and do today? How would they carry themselves? What decisions would they make? What actions would they take? What would they believe about themselves? Then think and act from that standard. This shifts your identity. You stop being someone who wants success and start being someone who expects it. And that shift changes everything. Your behavior changes. Your decisions change. Your energy changes. And the law responds to the new identity. Nightingale issued a challenge. He called it the 30-day test. For 30 days, think only about your goal. Refuse negative thinking. Act with courage. Expect a positive outcome. Do not allow doubt. Do not entertain fear. Do not complain. Do not criticize. Do not gossip. For 30 consecutive days, discipline your mind completely. Most people break the challenge within days, not because they are weak, but because they have never controlled their minds before. They have spent their entire lives letting thoughts come and go randomly, and now they are being asked to direct their thinking with precision. It feels impossible at first. The mind rebels. Old patterns resurface. Negative thoughts intrude. But if you persist, if you complete the 30 days, something extraordinary happens. You become stronger. Your thinking becomes clearer. Your focus becomes sharper. Your confidence becomes unshakable. Your results begin changing. And your relationship with your own mind is transformed. After that, the law works naturally. You do not have to force it. It operates automatically because you have trained your mind to think in alignment with success. If there is one truth Earl Nightingale wanted the world to know, it is this: we become what we think about. Not sometimes, not occasionally, always, without exception. This is the law. This is the hidden mechanism that governs every life. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening from you. Your thoughts are the blueprint. Your future is the construction. If you want to transform your results, transform the thoughts that create them. Starting today, starting now, because the law is already working. The only question is whether you are directing it or whether it is directing you. Take control. Choose your thoughts. Program your mind. And watch as your entire world rearranges itself to match your inner vision. This is not magic. This is law. And it works every single time.